Alright guys, how's it going? Now on this afternoon stream on here, a former Liverpool player called John Walker came up in conversation, and I read this interesting story to everyone, and I thought, you know what, there might be a lot of people that can't come to the streams or have no interest in them that might find this of interest. I do the live streams usually, throughout the week, 1 o'clock in the afternoon UK time and 7 in the evening. So we'll be doing one at 7 tonight, for example, then one tomorrow afternoon, and then we'll be doing a watch along for tomorrow night's game, okay? Anyway, going back to John Walk, played during his career as a midfielder, a centre-back, even a striker at some point. And I want to talk to you about when he signed for Liverpool and his Liverpool medical. He said, "I was rather taken aback when the doctor entered the Anfield boot room. He was small in stature and I could not help but detect the smell of alcohol on his breath." It's not fucking me, it wasn't me. Right? As he introduced himself to me. "I was even more surprised when he announced we could stay put to conduct the medical examination. He took my blood pressure, looked at the reading and muttered, 'That's fine.' Then something happened that to this day I still cannot get over. He asked me to bend down and touch my toes." Sounds like a Diddy medical here, doesn't it? "Try not to show my surprise. I did exactly as he asked. As I lifted my head, he spoke again, this time to announce, 'You've passed.' That was it, my Liverpool medical." That's absolutely class, do you not think, man? Like how they used to do stuff and that. I wonder if the same guy did Federico Chiesa's medical. Let's have a look. If I can say some stuff about John Walker. I remember him. He made his debut for the club on the 31st of March, 1984. I was 10. Oh no, in fact, I'd have been 9 at that point. In a 2-0 league win against Watford at Vicarage Road, and scored Liverpool's opening goal in the 58th minute. Liverpool won the English League title that season. Hooray. And Walk made sufficient appearances to earn himself a medal. His unusual ability as a goal-scoring midfielder was on display when he finished the 84-85 season as the club's top goal-scorer, ahead of prolific striker Ian Rush, with a tally of 27 goals in 62 appearances, a goal every 2.3 games. That's remarkable. I didn't know that. Walk's season included 3 hat-tricks, 1 each in the league, the FA Cup and the European Cup. Liverpool qualified for the 1985 European Cup final, but the match was overshadowed by the Heysel Stadium disaster, a tragedy Walk remembers as, quote, "a nightmare memory." In the 1985-86 season, he made 18 appearances, scoring 6 times, but missed out on the club's running to their League and FA Cup double due to a broken ankle suffered just after the turn of 1986, followed by an Achilles tendon injury. He eventually regained his fitness but struggled to regain his place in the Liverpool team until injury to Steve McMahon, what a player he fucking was, he took no shit in, allowed him back in. Walk came on as a late substitute, but according to him, never touched the ball, when Liverpool lost the 87 League Cup final to Arsenal. No longer a part of manager Kenny Dalglish's plans following the arrival of new midfielders, including John Barnes, my fucking favourite player ever, Walk was sold back to Ipswich on the 4th of January 1988 for £100,000. In spite of more financially lucrative offers from Watford and Coventry City, he followed Bobby Robson's advice. What a legend. Money isn't everything. Go where you will be happiest. It's very true. Walk left the Merseyside club with a record of 42 goals in 108 appearances, a goal every 2.6 games. Now, I also have some other little facts, if I can find them for you, here. Now, please do cross-check these, you know what I mean? Like, they could be wrong. As ever, it's not working. Here we go. Right. Now, let's see if you find any of this. Now, I want you to stay and watch this video because there's something on here that's mind-blowing, hence the thumbnail on the video. So he was born in Glasgow, Scotland, on August the 4th, 1957. He joined Liverpool March 1984 from Ipswich, debuted against Watford, it says here, in March 1984. Mentions all his goals. It says here impressive for a midfielder. Couple of English First Division titles, European Cup. Scored in the final shootout versus Roma 83-84. League Cup 83-84. Mentions those 27 goals in all competitions, which is a remarkable tally for a midfielder. He was a penalty king, Liverpool's regular penalty taker, rarely missing from the spot. Maybe we got a lot of penalties. This bit is the bit that I find interesting, really interesting. And I will have been told, I will have been aware of this many years ago, but I forgot obviously. But Walker appeared in the movie Escape to Victory. What a movie. 1981, starring Sylvester Stallone, Michael Caine and Pele. He played a German soldier posing as a footballer. It's incredible. I think there's a bit more in here about that. 2 spells at Ipswich. I mean, he was considered an Ipswich Town legend, I believe. Before and after Liverpool, Walker was a legend at Ipswich Town, winning the PFA Player of the Year in 1981. European hero, it says here, scored 14 goals in 12 matches during Ipswich's 1980-81 UEFA Cup winning campaign. Again, an incredible record for a midfielder. Style of play, known for his late runs into the box, clinical finishing and work rate, could play both as a central midfielder and a defender, showcasing his versatility, and he has also played as a striker. After football, he worked in hospitality at Ipswich Town after retiring, and he published an autobiography titled Walk On, sharing stories from his football career. Now, I reckon that would be really interesting if it's on Amazon. It might be worth you taking a look at that. Highlights from that book. His love for Liverpool. He speaks fondly about his time at Liverpool, describing the camaraderie in the dressing room and how joining a club of that stature was a dream come true. He shares stories about playing alongside legends like Dalglish, Rush and Hansen. Fuck me, we've had some players over years, haven't we, guys? He talks about that escape to victory story. One of the standout parts of his book is about his role in the movie. He jokes about acting alongside Sylvester Stallone and how surreal it felt to be in a Hollywood film while being a full-time footballer. He even pokes fun at Stallone's lack of football skills. He reflects on his incredible goal-scoring form for Liverpool, especially in the 84-85 season, and admits he surprised himself with how prolific he became, crediting his ability to time late runs into the box. You know, I didn't see him play very often, if at all, to be honest with you. But I do remember, if you were to, like, you know, when you visualise a former Liverpool player maybe that you saw or you know of, you often remember maybe 1 or 2 things about that player, unless they were like an absolute star like Ian Rush, you know what I mean? How could you remember everything that Ian Rush did, or John Barnes, you know? Or even in recent years, Torres, Suarez, Salah, whatever. But when some of those other players, they're maybe not the big names or the stars, so to speak, but they're needed in a team. They're needed in a team. And if like memory, when I think of memory to do with Walk, I do remember him running into the box, just appearing out of fucking nowhere. It's amazing. Sorry, maybe it's not amazing to you, but it's just amazing to me because it's spot on there. So yeah, the book's full of light-hearted stories from the dressing room, pranks, banter, strong bond between players during Liverpool's dominant years in the 80s. And personal reflections, he opens up about life after football, the challenges of retiring from professional sport, and how he found a new role working in hospitality at Ipswich Town. I guess, people often talk about, obviously people that have served, in the military, when they retire, they find it hard to adapt to civilian life. My father was a senior police officer. He was a police officer for 33 years. And when he left the police force, he was completely lost. No doubt about it. Do you know what I mean? He'd lost that, like being with the fellas, the guys, the lads, whatever. Do you know what I mean? The data just, I think that maybe affects a lot of people in retirement, right? Whatever career may be. But what I'm going with here is if you're a footballer and you were once running around and idolised and, by fucking, millions of fans, or maybe not so much back then because everything wasn't broadcast like it is today. But imagine being like running out on the pitch at Anfield and people shouting, imagine what that must feel like. Do you know what I mean? And then to go from that and just be sat in your lounge watching telly thinking, I used to do that, they're not singing about me now. It must be hard, that, like. Do you not think some of them come to terms with, struggle to come to terms with retirement, maybe? It would make for an interesting book, that, you know what I mean? Like if someone had the time to do it. I would certainly buy a book that spoke about former players and how they felt. I mean, I often think about players like John Barnes and Ian Rush and John Water, whatever, that missed out on, the millions and millions and millions of pounds of money that's in the game now, where, young kids are picking up, or even average footballers, Premier League footballers have minted and set up for life. And then you've got some of our club legends on social media, like promoting fucking cannabis oil and shit. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck's gone wrong with the world? Yeah, use my fucking promo code. Like, it's just, it must be difficult, but I'm sure that applies in many jobs in life. Do you know what I mean? I mean, if I was to hang up my keyboard, you know what I mean? If I was to hang up my keyboard, I'd miss you. I wouldn't know what to fucking do with myself. Anyway, so I want to focus on this movie, this Escape to Victory. He was playing for Ipswich Town at the time, and the team was managed by Bobby Robson. The film needed real footballers to make the match scenes look authentic. Ipswich had a strong squad with players like Russell Osman, Kevin Beattie, Laurie Civil, and Walk was among those chosen to take part. And as mentioned, the film starred big names like Sylvester Stallone, fucking hell, Michael Caine, and the legendary Pele. Now, Walk played one of the Allied POW footballers competing against a German team during World War II. I thought he said before he played for fucking Jerry's, didn't it? Anyway, it says here, interestingly, he joked that he looked more like a German than an Allied soldier due to his moustache at the time, which became a bit of a running joke. Working with Sylvester Stallone, he mentioned he didn't have a clue about football. Stallone played the goalkeeper in the film. And Walk said they had to choreograph scenes carefully because Stallone couldn't dive properly. Walk and his teammates would joke about how Rocky was hopeless in goal but couldn't say so much because, well, it was Sylvester Stallone. I want to watch this movie now. I watched it when I was a kid. I've not watched it as an adult. Walk was in awe of Pele, describing him as still incredibly sharp with the ball, even though he was well past his prime. He recalled watching Pele perform his famous bicycle kick for the film, which was a pivotal scene. Walk said it was surreal seeing it in person, especially for a footballer who grew up idolising players like him. And behind the scenes, the footballers treated the whole experience like an extended holiday, having fun between shoots. And he admitted that the film wasn't exactly Oscar material, or maybe I won't watch it then, but being part of a Hollywood production was a unique adventure. He joked that despite being in a movie, he never got any big acting offers after that. Probably because he was, quote, better at scoring goals and pretending to be a soldier. Right, I was confused. I'm sure it said in that movie. I think it did. I think I contradicted myself. I'm not very good at this kind of stuff, am I? Maybe I read that wrong. Maybe I didn't say that. I don't fucking know. It says here in the first, he played a German soldier. I don't, it doesn't matter, does it? Point was, he was in that movie, and I think that's interesting. That's what I think. What do you think? Are you thinking like, nah, just go and have a rest, Doug? Oh, I thought it was interesting. All right, I'll leave it with you. If you appreciate the video, please thumbs up the video. Drop me a comment. Have you seen the movie? Do you remember the movie? Do you remember him being in it? Do you know what I mean? If you're a bit older than me, maybe you know more about it, because what year did it say? Was it 1981? I was about 6 or something like that. I don't know. I might put it on. Have I got a bit of time? I might do. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Anyway, yes. So thumbs up. Drop me a comment. And if you want to buy me a coffee, because I'll be in the cafe in the morning reviewing them Spanish football dailies for you. I'll have you serious business. Then hit the love out under the video, and I'll give you a shout out in tomorrow morning. I'll tell everyone how fucking amazing you are. It'll piss my haters off too. All right, guys. Cheers. Bye.